So happy Sam, I'm hoping for today. Come on, Sam. Yes, Sam. No more ranting. Let's time to celebrate, Sam.
The only thing I've got to rant about is we got a few tough fixtures next, so let's not get carried away. But other than that, though, like, look, I don't know if you can see my wrist very well. Banged it on the door frame when Toby hit. Fucking hell, like, I'm still pumped with adrenaline. Like, I don't even want to read. I don't even want to read you the abusive messages I've sent to every gooner I know. Like,
you can read out. You can have be like a mean tweet kind of read out if you want. Don't mind.
One of them I said, ha 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 ha. Hope you sleep a restless night. C word. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm reading out.
You were generous to him, I think, Sam. I think you were generous to him.
Yeah. I didn't pick my worst one deliberately. But let's talk about the game though.
Talk to me. What do you make of it? Do you think we deserved the win, or we got a bit lucky?
Absolutely. I think we did. The second goal was slightly against the run of play, I felt, but a header's a header from a corner. What can you do? What can you say about that? We don't normally score from corners either. Let's rewind back to the first half though. First half, I thought I was absolutely shocked at how well we started off at first until we conceded, which was once again from an Aurier mistake. I'm sorry, but like the game, as good as the game it was, there's just some players that are not good enough. And for me, I felt Aurier was at complete fault for the build up to the goal for Lacazette. But then 2 minutes later, Kolasinac just does literally an even worse, shocking mistake, passing it back. Son is obviously going to be quicker than Luis. And Son chipped it over their Martinez goalkeeper, I think he's called.
Yeah.
So then that's 1-1. After that, in the second half, I'm thinking, right, Arsenal tend to crumble in the second half like they did against Leicester. So whereas we have this problem where we cannot carry on a momentum. Like, that's what the issue was. And I was scared that we were just going to go 2-1 down like that. And I felt like there were times where we were going to. But then the cross happened from the corner, Toby headed it in. And for me, Toby is man of the match. And I'm not going to be subjective here. I'm being objective about this because Toby has been a centre-back that's been neglected by Mourinho a lot since the return of lockdown. What goes on through your mind to start Dyer and Sanchez over Toby Alderweireld? I'll never understand. He is our best centre-back, and you cannot argue that. And I felt like Kane was unlucky not to score, unfortunately. I thought Kane actually did well. I've read some of the live comments saying that Kane was trash, but I highly disagree with that. Highly disagree with that. All in all, it's just a brilliant bragging right win, but we've just got to be careful now that we don't let this go over our heads and we don't let, come to the end of the season, some Arsenal fans looking back at these interviews saying, well, it was almost worth letting Tottenham beat us. So we can't let that happen.
I agree. We need to finish the season positively, and we need, most importantly, to finish the season above Arsenal. But what do you think of, as you said, Toby was world class today, and he's been great in the last few games. Do you think that he's returned to form now? Because a few people questioning whether Toby's past it, he's aged, even though he signed a new contract not so long ago. Do you think he's proving now, since he's come back into the back four, that he should be starting every game, and he's someone to build the defense around?
Look, every player is going to have a struggling for momentum like that. That's something we can't deny. And yeah, Alderweireld has struggled, but even on his worst days, I've personally seen him put on a shift. Still, for me, I feel like Alderweireld is one that we've got to keep hold of. I mean, thank God he signed a new contract now. What happened with Jan Vertonghen when he suddenly started improving because we signed Toby Alderweireld and partnered them together? The same thing needs to happen with Toby Alderweireld, I feel. Sorry. So the same thing needs to happen with Toby Alderweireld, where you sign a young centre-back and partner him up and he can go back into consistent form.
Yeah. What did you make of Lucas Moura today? I thought on the left-hand side, he was tireless. He was working so hard. He used every bit of energy that they could muster. And he played a few nice balls into Harry Kane. It was a kind of different kind of role for Lucas Moura today. How did you feel he fared?
Yeah, no, you're right there. Brilliant work momentum. Brilliant work momentum from Moura, that's for sure. felt Kane was Moura did an absolute superb cross, I think, in the first half, where Kane tried to lob it over the keeper, and then the keeper's like stuck his hands out, I think. I felt Moura was absolutely superb.
What do you think of the overall the changes that Mourinho made to the tactics, going for a 4-4-2 instead of 4-3-3, especially in such a big game? He decided to change it up into this style, and we kind of had more, especially in the first half. We were pressing for the front a lot more, using a lot more energy. What did you feel like his change of tactics?
I felt like the change of tactics were very composed. They were very mature. I felt, he decided to go a bit old school because he clearly did his homework, knowing that Sissoko has played as a winger before. That's where he was playing. I felt like, like I said, it was very mature decision, because when you look towards the end, like often as fans, we've been complaining, why don't you use all your subs, this, that, the other. But you can actually understand why you don't tend to, because you don't actually need to make a sub for the sake of it. Because you look at Arteta, what he did towards the end, like he made 2 subs before, and then he literally made a panic decision and put 3 remaining players on like that, hoping to get a change out of it. And then that's where you can see the difference. You can see a mature and well thought decision, and then another where it's just completely panic stations and chucks out a bunch of subs like that. Overall, Mourinho, we've been on Mourinho's back a lot, but he definitely does deserve praise for today.
You think Arteta got Mourinho then?
Yeah, I mean, Mourinho's a master shithouse, isn't he?
Absolutely brilliant. So obviously we've beaten Arsenal, back above them into 8th. Anything except for just finishing with Arsenal? You're hoping for anything more come the end of the season?
Europa League, and do not let. Honestly, we're both. Look, I'm gonna be honest, yeah, and we are genuinely both awful teams, Tottenham and Arsenal. And I've said this before we were starting, that this is just going to be between 2 awful sides, but cannot let Arsenal finish above us. And let's just now try and go for Europa League. Listen, Newcastle, it's going to be tough. But I do not want us to just be above Arsenal for one game or for 1 week or a few days, and then all it takes is one loss and we're back to square one. Cannot let this go over our heads.
All right, Sam, lovely to speak to you on the day. Spurs are beating Arsenal 2-1 first. Tottenham, North London derby at the new Tottenham Stadium. Sam, nice to see you. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
We are Tottenham.